Bitcoin versus Rupee. Strengthening the Indian rupee with Bitcoin. The Indian rupee has weakened over decades, losing 80% of its value against the US dollar since 1947, dropping from rupees 1 to rupees 83 by 2025. Inflation averaging 6 to 8% yearly and a rupees 155 trillion national debt, which is 85% of GDP in 2024, which drags it down further. Bitcoin, a decentralized digital currency capped at 21 million coins, offers India a way to fight back. Here's how India can use Bitcoin to boost the rupee, with action items and comparisons to countries leveraging Bitcoin. Here are some action items to strengthen the rupee with Bitcoin. 1. Add Bitcoin to the India's foreign reserves. India holds approximately 675 billion in foreign reserves as of 2024, mostly in US dollars to stabilize the rupee. But dollars lose value. US inflation hit 3.1% in 2023. Bitcoin with its fixed supply grows faster over time. For example, rupees 60 in 2011 and rupees 57 lakhs in 2024-2025. Adding Bitcoin could hedge against rupee devaluation. If India holds 10,000 Bitcoins, it's a tiny 0.008% of reserves, but a bold start. We'll see the impact. It reduces reliance on weakening dollar, strengthening rupee confidence. In 2023, the rupee fell 5% and Bitcoin rose 150%. Now let's compare it. El Salvador holds 5,917 Bitcoins, which in rupees accounts to around 33,700 crores. Worth 10% of it, 3 billion reserves. It's a small but grew GDP 10% since 2021 by attracting crypto investments. India's scale could amplify this. The second one, legalize Bitcoin as a payment option. India's 30% crypto tax, which was introduced in 2022, and RBI resistance to choke Bitcoin use, legalizing it as a payment method like cash or UPI could spark adoption. With 10 million Indians crypto wallet in 2025, the demand is very clear. More Bitcoin use means less rupee outflow for imports. For example, rupees 20 lakh crore on oil purchases in 2023. This keeps money in India. Cut dollar demand, lifts the rupee value. Remittances could shift to Bitcoin, saving 370 crores in fees yearly. El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender in 2021, slashing remittances costs by up to 25%. India's $111 billion remittance market could see similar savings, bolstering the rupee. Set up Bitcoin mining hubs. India imports gold, trailing dollars and weakening the rupee. Bitcoin can be mined locally using renewable resources, like Gujarat solar farms, which is having 13 gigawatts capacity. A 100 megawatt mining hub could produce 50 Bitcoin yearly, which is 285 crores at 2025 prices, keeping wealth in rupees. This cuts forex spendings, boosts rupee reserves. One hub offers 0.07% of gold imports. Scale it up for more. Let's compare this. Bhutan mines Bitcoin with hydropower, holding 621 Bitcoins, which is worth 3,500 crores by 2024. Small but profitable. India's 190 gigawatt renewable capacity dwarfs Bitcoin's, promising bigger gains. The fourth one, launch a rupee-backed Bitcoin ETF. A Bitcoin exchange-traded fund lets people invest in Bitcoin via rupees on stock exchanges like NSE. India could launch one via SEBI, channeling rupees 20,000 crore in crypto trades into rupee assets. It keeps money local, not dollar based platforms. This strengthens the rupee demand, cuts dollar resilience. A rupees 10,000 crore ETF could lift rupee value by 0.5% based on the forex market size. Now let's compare this. The US has a Bitcoin ETF worth $50 billion, which is 4.15 lakh crore in 2025. MicroStrategy, now called as Strategy, a US firm holds 500,000 Bitcoin, boosting its total stock to 400% since 2020. India's ETF could mirror this, tying Bitcoin to rupee growth. Fifth one, promote Bitcoin or trade settlements. India spends dollars on imports, rupees 50 lakh crore in 2023 per Commerce Ministry. Using Bitcoin for trade cuts dollar use. If 5% of imports shift to Bitcoin, rupee pressure eases. This reduces forex outflows, stabilizes rupee. A 1% dollar drop could save rupees 50,000 crore yearly. In comparison, El Salvador settled $500 million in trade with Bitcoin by 2024, easing dollar strain. India's 750 billion trade volume offers far bigger potential. Let's see the sixth one. Educate and incentivize Bitcoin use. India's 190 million unbanked miss out on the rupee banking. If we can teach them how to use Bitcoin via phones, 80% of Indians have mobile phones, and offer tax breaks to boost adoption. This will lead to more rupee Bitcoin circulation, strengthening local economy. A 5% unbanked shift adds to rupees 9,500 crore in activity. In comparison, El Salvador gave $30 of Bitcoin to citizens in 2021, sparkling 70% adoption. India's 1.4 billion could see millions join, lifting the rupee use. Comparison with countries holding Bitcoin. El Salvador. Bitcoin holdings approximately 6,000 BTC, which is nearly 34,000 crores in February of 2025. Strategy. It's a legal tender since 2021, used for payments and reserves. The impact? GDP grew up by 10%, remittances cheaper by 10%, dollar still dominates, but Bitcoin eases the pressure. The lessons for the rupee. India's rupees $675 billion reserve dwarfs El Salvador's $3 billion. Adding 10,000 BT is low risk, high reward, and El Salvador 10% stake. Bhutan. Bhutan holds 621 BTC, approximately 3,500 crores as of 2024. Their strategy is to mine with hydropower, hold as an asset. The impact, since it's a small economy, it gains rupees $42 million yearly, which is a 1.4 boost. Rupee equivalent isn't mined here, just printed. The lessons for the rupee. India's 190 gigawatt renewable could mine 1,000 bitcoins, which is approximately 5,700 crores yearly, cutting rupees 4 lakh crore gold imports by 1.4%. Now let's look at some corporate proxies. For example, MicroStrategy, or currently known as Strategy. MicroStrategy holds approximately 490,000 Bitcoin as of February 2025. The strategy is to treat as a reserve asset and not as a currency. The company's stock went up 400% since 2020, outpacing dollar inflation, which was a 25% loss. Rupee firms lack this scale. The lessons for the rupee. Indian firms like Reliance could hold 10,000 bitcoins, tying corporate wealth to rupee stability. Why Bitcoin beats the rupee's weakness? Rupee loses 6 to 8% yearly in inflation. Bitcoin resists it with its 21 million cap. There is $155 trillion debt burden, sinking rupee. Bitcoin needs no borrowings. Control. RBI prints 11.5% more rupees. Bitcoin code stops that. Global reach. Rupee is a weak currency abroad. Bitcoins accepted worldwide. Challenges to watch. Bitcoin's 40% swing versus the rupees 5% drops needs managing. Gradual adoption helps. Regulation. India's 30% tax and RBI bans slow progress. Easing to 10% could unlock 50,000 crore in trades. Energy. Mining needs power. India's renewable must scale up from 40% usage. In conclusion, Bitcoin can lift the rupee from its slump. Adding it to the reserves, legalizing payments, mining locally, launching ETFs, settling trade, and educating people are clear steps. El Salvador's 6,000 BTC and Bhutan's 620 BTC shows small nation thriving. India's size with 1.4 billion people and a 3.7 trillion GDP could make it a giant. The rupees lost 80% since 1947. Bitcoin's up 9 million% since 2010. By embracing Bitcoin, India can cut dollar dependence, fight inflation, and build a stronger rupee for tomorrow.